What's up, hobbies? Welcome again to another Dragon Ball Super card game content. And today, as promised, I'm gonna do a deck profile for Frieza, the UNISON Warrior Series starter deck. Yes, this is a starter deck from the UNISON series. As of the moment, up until Supreme Rivalry, there are no starter decks releases yet in the UNISON series. But I think on the set 14, after Supreme Rivalry, there will be a new 2 starter deck. So I'm excited to have that. But right now, as you can see, as I post earlier, as I post in the past few days, I made a 3 Frieza deck. Yeah, one is the yellow Frieza, which is I already included in my channel, the yellow Frieza set 1 deck. And now the green Prison deck. The next one will be the Prison Frieza deck. Yeah, from the series 6, I think the Frieza Prison that include battleguards with 3 or less. So stay tuned for that. But right now, I want to share to you my deck profile with Frieza, because it's really fun to play and I really love the game style of Frieza. Yeah, so as I show you the cards, I will explain also the gameplay or the style of this deck. It's all said that this Frieza, with its permanent ability, that you cannot include Cyan card in this deck. So as a green deck, Paragrus is one of the most staple super combo for a green deck, but in this Frieza, you cannot include Cyan, so Paragrus is out of the option. But we do have another super combo that fits in the gameplay of this deck. So let's get going. Auto, choose one Frieza army card in your battle area and place it in owner's drop area. When this card attacks the leader card, your opponent choose one card in their hand and discard it. Then add up to one from your life to your hand. So basically, you hand destruction your opponent, and you can do a self-awaken also. So awaken, when your life is 4 or less, you may draw one card and then switch up one of your energy into active mode. Basically, one of the basic awaken skills. In the awaken side, when this card's attack, draw one. That's basics from the awaken side of our leader. Now this one is a good one in the active main. Once per turn, choose one Frieza army card in your battle area and place it in an owner's drop area. Choose one card in your opponent's hand, discard it, then choose up to one of your green UNISON card and it gains critical for the turn. So basically, this is the typical Frieza in the series that always sacrifice her army, always sacrifice his army, his Frieza army to gain control of the battle area, to gain control of the field, or just to win victory. So this is the typical Frieza. Alright, so let's get going to the pieces. So first off, the 1-drop will be this Zarbon. 4 of the Zarbon, Frieza's right hand man. What this card do? When this card is played, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 UNISON card of a specific 2 or 1 green Frieza army card with the energy cost of 4 or less among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So basically, this is a turn 1 play, a sorter for UNISON and a Frieza army card. And yeah, but what does this Zarbon is good is that in active battle, you pay 1 energy. If your leader card is green Frieza, which is your leader, you have a green UNISON card in play, and you send this card from drop area to your warp. Choose one of your leader cards or UNISON cards, and it gets 10,000 power for the battle. So yeah, this could the active battle could boost your UNISON when attacking, especially when your Frieza leader give critical to your UNISON, and then when you attack with your UNISON, you buff it with 10k. It's really good card. It's a really situational card for 1 energy cost. So this is a turn 1 play for me for Frieza deck. And of course, the UNISON card will be this starter. This also includes in starter. Also, this is included in the starter deck of Frieza. And this, the UNISON. This one is a good UNISON, especially for this leader, because it has a permanent ability. If this card would lose a marker for our opponent's attack, you may place one card from your life into your drop area instead. So you can really self-awaken. You can really awaken fast in this Frieza. Active +1. Choose one card in your hand and discard it and draw one card. So basically, there are Frieza army cards in this deck that really synergize with this +1 active main. I'll show it to you later. -1 active main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle card with energy cost 4 or less and KO it. Or choose one of your UNISON card and remove a marker from it. So basically, this is a really good card to control and to gain advantage in your battlefield with just a 2-cost UNISON. So basically, this will be your turn 2 play, the UNISON Frieza. Alright, what does the combo of the +1 of the Frieza UNISON is this Dodoria. This also came from the starter deck. So if your leader card is a green Frieza card and you have a green UNISON card in play, if this card is placed in your drop area from hand by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. So the synergy of this card is play this UNISON +1 active main. You discard this from your hand. Now, after you discard this from your hand, you can play this from discard pile, play it in battle area, and then you can now choose to sacrifice one of your Frieza army card in the battle area, put it in the drop area, and gain buff to your UNISON. So that's a really good synergy out there in this Frieza, killing your own army just to gain advantage for the battle. And active main, if your leader card is Frieza card and you have a green UNISON card in play, add this card from drop area to your hand. So basically, you can recycle this from drop area. Just pay 1 energy and you can do again the cycle of the sacrificing it from your hand, playing it from the discard pile, then sacrificing it from the area to gain advantage, to gain critical +10 for your UNISON. No, just critical. So this is a really good card, and don't worry, this is part in the starter deck. So having this Dodoria, so I highly suggest if you're gonna buy starter deck, buy 2 the starter deck because they only came 2 copies in each starter deck. So buy 2 starter decks, you can get a playset of it. Okay, another card is this Ginyu Frieza and Greatest Soldier. This also came from the starter deck. I only played 3 of these because I rarely playing this card because I have a lot of another cards that much better play in turn 2 or turn 3, but this could be another option to play with. So when you play this card, choose up to one of your leader card or green UNISON card and it gets 10,000. It's a basically good buff for your UNISON or your leader. And another auto, if your leader card is green Frieza card, when this card is placed in drop area from a battle area by the skill, you may return this card to your hand. Basically, you can sacrifice Ginyu. After attacking, it has a 15k 2-drop. After attacking, you can sacrifice it with Frieza leader and then return it to your hand. So you can use this as a combo in your defense step or your next attack. So these are really good cards, but I only run 3 in this deck. So yeah, okay, next card. It's Cheelai Frieza 4 Soldier from starter deck 8, the Broly deck. Yeah. Don't worry, this is not a Saiyan card, this is a Frieza army card. What does this card do? When you play, draw 1 automatically. And it has an active main that choose one of your green Frieza army card with an energy of cost 2 or less from your deck, play it, then shuffle your deck. So basically, turn 1, you can use this as a draw power. Turn 2, if you still haven't UNISON, you can play this, pay 2, search for a Frieza army card. You can search this to search for your UNISON, because after your search you can play the card, but the main target of this card is this. Basically, I play this on turn 3 or I play this on turn 2 and then turn 3 I do the active main. This is your target, the Frieza Terrifying Transform. This is a really good card because it calls out your other Frieza card. So what does this card do? When this card's removed from battle area by opponent's skill, draw 2 cards. So basically, when they KO this, draw 2 cards. So it literally gain advantage for you. But in active main, choose up to one your Frieza card, with the energy cost of 4 in your hand or drop area and place it on top of this card in active mode. So basically, you can attack this first, then active main, search for a Frieza in your hand or in drop area and play it on active on top of this card. So what Frieza could you play on this card? This Frieza Cosmic Horror. This is a really good card. When you play this card, choose one. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle card and heal it. A really good removal from the opponent's battle area. Or choose up to one of your opponent's UNISON card and remove a marker. Also remove a marker. And this is a dual attack battle card and a 20k. So this is a really good target for this card. Take note, it only gets Frieza card with energy cost of 4 in your hand. So that doesn't include Frieza BR. So take note of that. Only Frieza, no Frieza BR can be played on top of this card. This is one of the great targets of this 2-drop Frieza. And then you have this, of course, the Parasitic Darkness. So active battle, this is just a free 5 combo power. But what the active main is really important in this is when choose one Frieza card in your with the energy cost of 4 in your battle area. This is your target. Place this under this card and play up to one Frieza Xeno in your deck or hand on top of chosen card in active mode. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So basically, you can search a Frieza Xeno from your deck or in hand that plays on top of this card in active mode. So you can dual attack this and then use this, play it under it, and then search for the Frieza Xeno in active mode. So what are the Frieza Xeno in this deck? We got these 3 Frieza Darkness Infestation. Sorry about that. This is a double strike. Unique. Unique means you can only play this one card at a time in the battle area. So if this card exists in the battle area, you can play any more of this. Okay. So what this auto do? If your opponent has 3 or more energy when this card is removed from battle area by a skill or KO, add up to 1 green extra card with energy cost of 1 or less from your drop area to your hand. So basically, you can return this or any extra card with 1 or less from your discard pile. I'll show you what other extra cards we have in this deck. Active main, place this in orange drop area, choose up to 1 your card's opponent's hand and discard it. So basically, after your attack, you can active main, so place it in the drop area and hand destruction your opponent. So that when your UNISON or leader attacks, they have less cards in their hands. So really good. What are other Xeno Frieza? Is here. It has also deflect, so basically it's you can play this with no hesitation. And unique. What does auto do? If your opponent has 3 or more energy when this card is removed from battle area by a skill or KO, add up to 1 green extra card with energy cost of 1 or less from drop area to your hand. Same with this Frieza, the same auto, but the active battle is much greater. Pay 3 in active battle, this card gets 15,000 power and double strike for the turn. So basically, it could be a 30k double striker for the turn. This one good finisher. Alright. What are other targets of this Frieza 2-drop is this Frieza surprise attack Frieza, but I do not play this on top of this because when you KO a battle card, which you can do here, you can play this for free if you haven't played any surprise attack Frieza. So when you KO your opponent's battle card, you can play this for free. This is a critical 15k attacker. So that's the auto of this card, that you can activate this skill when your opponent's battle card is KO'd. If this Frieza is not in play, you can play this. So this is a free 15k critical if you KO opponent's battle card. Also, if you KO your opponent's battle card, you can also play this as a free blocker. So you can only play this one in your battle area. And yeah, it's a free blocker for if you KO an opponent. So these are really good for if you can finish your opponent, at least you have a defender to defend in your next turn. Alright, other cards in this deck is these promo cards. The Zarbon Cosmic Elite, this is a blocker. And it has an active main that choose 1 green card in your hand and discard it, play this card from drop area. So basically, if this card is discarded, you can play this card from your drop area, just paying 1, and you have a blocker. Or if you sacrifice this from your Frieza UNISON, you can play this from drop area, just pay 1, and you have a blocker. And it has an auto if your opponent has 5 more cards in their hand. When this card is removed from battle area by a skill or KO, your opponent choose 1 card in their hand and discard it. So basically, you can play this, sacrifice with Frieza, your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, discard 1. Or when you use this as a blocker and got KO'd and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, discard card from their hand. So this is a really good card all around, offense or defense. This is one good card. And the super combo for this card, what that I tell you before, is this 118 Bionic Blitz. Yes, this great super combo for green or blue, but mostly I use this in green cards because it has a hand destruction. Yes, it's not really a discard card, but at least you can lessen your opponent's hand by placing one of their hand under the bottom of their deck. So these are really good super combo because the hand destruction super combo from the green is it has a specific leader android, but this you can play this just if your leader is a blue or a green. It's a really good card for hand destruction deck. Alright, for negates, I have these homicidal clones. This is a really good staple negates I love from the Battle Evolution set. If your leader card is a mono green, which is a mono green, Frieza, negate the attack. Then play one with the token, and it gains blocker for the turn. So imagine you negate their first attack and then play a token that has a blocker. So your opponent's next attack after that, you can block it. And when your life is 5 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding 1 card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So basically, if your life is 5 or less and you tap off your energy, you can still play this by getting 1 card in your life. So these are really good staple cards for green. Other staple cards negates in the green is the Shocking Death Ball. It has a parking 5 that you can play this card by getting life instead of paying its energy cost, and it can KO your opponent's 2 or less battle card, and you can negate the attack. So imagine if your opponent's attacking with a 2-drop card, you KO it, and then you can play this where's the Frieza surprise attack Frieza and a blocker. So imagine that if you KO a card with this card, you can play another blocker and you have another defense. So it's a really good card. So these are the 6 negates I have in my deck that you can play it without paying its energy cost at the cost of your life. Tech cards in this deck is this Towa. Over round 3, when you play this card, if your leader card is green or yellow, your leader card gets 5,000 power and for the duration of the turn, and your opponent choose 1 card in their hand and place it in drop area. So this is another hand destruction card that you can play for free using Overwhelm, and it has a 15k attack. And another is 2 of the, of course, the Furthering Champa that gives you double strike. So this is a really good card for giving double strike. If your opponent is down to 2 and your leader attacks, you can basically buff him with double strike. And another tech of this card from the ultimate deck is this Frieza. When you combo this card, choose up to 1 of your leader card or battle card, it gains critical. So imagine giving a critical attack in your battle card on your leader. It's a really annoying if your opponents especially when you attack and then your opponents doesn't negate, then you can surprise it with this gaining critical and then giving a double strike. So it's a really good surprise attack for coming from you. So basically that's the deck I managed to build. This is just a budget friendly deck. It doesn't much have of rare cards or SR cards. I think this is the only SR cards, but you can get this from the ultimate deck. So you can get this card 2 from the ultimate deck. So this is just a simple deck from the Frieza Unison leader, and there's a lot of improvement in this deck. There's a lot of things you can utilize. There's a lot of things you can rebuild in this deck, but for me, I'm happy with this build. Of course, I'm planning to upgrade this as soon as I can see another potential card that can be included in this deck. What are the pros and cons of this deck? Pros of this deck: this deck has a really good hand destruction deck, utilizing your hand destruction for your opponents to lessen their hands, lessen their defense when you're attacking. This card is a really good card, and it is a mid-range deck that you can actually end the game with turn 3 or turn 4, especially if you have all the cards needed, like this Frieza, the Dragon Ball, the Dark Dragon Ball. This you can search this in the deck if you have these cards, but this card is most important. It must be in your hand to be played or in the drop area. Of course, the Unison for turn 2 kill, for turn 2 play. So that's the pros of this deck. It can be a very good hand destruction. I already played this in our local tournaments, and I managed to always lessen my opponent's hand at a very low, so their resources are low because of the hand destruction. The only cons I see in this deck is that your big attacker has only a 20k attack, yeah, or 15k, but you need to pay 3 energy for this card to be in a 30k attacker. You don't have any big hitter in this deck. Pimp this out into a green-yellow Frieza, because the original deck in the starter deck it's a green-yellow, but I find it hard to play the green-yellow because of the synergy I want in this deck. It's much more comfortable for me to play with the mono green, but you can experiment. You can utilize, you can change the perspective of this deck, you can change the gameplay of this deck, but this is my gameplay. I'm just sharing to you my idea. So basically that's the pros and cons. Pros, mid-range deck, good hand destruction. Cons, you only have a little power of battle cards in this deck. You don't have a big drop, you don't have a big hitter in this deck. But you can include, as I said, if you tweak this deck, you can include a big drop, maybe a Xeno, SCR. I really have fun playing this deck, and I do have a lot of more decks to share with you guys. So I hope you click that like button, subscribe so that you can follow me, and click that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload new content for Dragon Ball Super. Thank you guys for supporting me. For all the subscribers out there, thank you for subscribing. I hope you don't get bored in my Dragon Ball content. I want to share to you my fun decks. You're gonna see most of the decks that I'm gonna do is just a fun deck or a tech deck or anti-meta. I don't usually build a meta deck because meta deck is all over around the internet, so I don't think I need to focus on that kind of content in this channel. And of course, I mostly play a fun deck or a tech deck or anti-meta deck in our locals. I barely used to a meta deck. Once I knew that I build a meta deck, I dismantle it and change another deck. And also just to give chance to the other cards that has a potential and trying to discover the potential in the deck. So thank you guys for watching. It's been too long with this deck, but I do hope you learned something new, or at least you have an idea on what to do with this Frieza leader. And comment down below if you have any more idea to improve this deck. I'm open to suggestion or any leader you want to see for me to build, especially with the new set Supreme Rivalry is coming this May, or it's already here. For us in the Philippines, Supreme Rivalry came early, so yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of box opening in my channel. You can preview it after this. And yeah, so what do you think, guys, about another decks? Stay tuned also for more battle videos. I see I got this new playmat, the two-sided playmat, the two-player playmat, yeah, the UNISON playmat. So me and my wife could make now a battle video for you guys. And we're gonna start off with Series 13, the Supreme Rivalry battle video. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys again for subscribing, like the video, and click that notification table. So see you guys again next time. Thanks, bye.